Hey, this is Overpass Insights. My name is Eric and I make apps. Now today I want to talk about why you should never quote for perfect conditions. All right, good morning everybody. It is early March. It's like March 3rd, 2nd or 3rd. And it is a misty, cold morning here in England, right? But it's kind of nice. It's nice to get out of the flat. With the whole lockdown, which should be easing up soon, it's just been tired of just being inside all the time. Anyway, so today I want to talk a bit about quoting, right? We talk a lot about working with clients. We talk about quoting because that is one of the biggest problems that I've run into and a lot of developers run into when we take on new work is, are we quoting enough? Which makes total sense actually, because you want to do the best thing for your clients, right? They chose you, they came to you, and you don't want to screw them over. You don't want to quote too high. You want to be reasonable, but at the same time, you have to think about the different eventualities that will come up. So a lot of times you'll give a quote and you're thinking, this might be a bit too high, but I hope not. And then hopefully they'll take it and then you go forward. Because the worst thing to do is be talked down on price and then you end up having a project that is way, 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 way more difficult than you thought it was going to be. So recently I had a really good example of this. I wanted to share it with you guys. I'm not going to share any details about the client, obviously, and they're a great client. I love working with them. So it was like, it's nothing bad. I have nothing bad to say about the client. It's more about the nature of giving a quote. So I had a client that I worked with several years ago get in touch and said, hey, Eric, everybody's really happy with the app, all this kind of stuff, it's everything, but we want to change it, new branding. We want to, very, very simple. They want to change the icon and change a bit of the colors and a few labels, right? Easy stuff, right? In my mind, it's like, okay, well, I don't need to familiarize myself with the code. I know the code, but maybe I need a little bit of time to go over it again, just to make sure. And the icon, they're going to provide the icon, so that's no big deal. And okay, cool. So in my mind, I'm thinking, like, if you had to quote for that, what would you think? What, like a couple hours, maybe, 2-3 hours maybe. But then I thought, it's been a while since I've seen this application. I should probably just make sure I test everything, because you don't want to put something out there and then something's not working, right? So then I thought, okay, maybe half a day or a day. In the end, I quoted 3 days, right? Because it has been a long time since I updated that application. It's been like 4 years, like 3 or 4 years, maybe it was 3, that we released a new version of this app. And I thought, I don't know what could go wrong with this. So, and I felt bad about it. I felt like when I told them this price, they wanted a fixed price. So, I didn't want to do time and materials anyway. So I felt bad about this. I was like, 3 days? And they go, ooh, oh, okay. All right. Well, if that's what it has to be. So in the end, it took me 4 days of work, 4 days for a simple icon and label change. I underquoted. Despite everything, despite my best efforts, I still underquoted. But it's fine. I was so glad I didn't just say, I tell you what, just leave it with me. I'll just take care of it. Or, just to be a nice guy and everything like that, because I've done that in the past. Okay, so what went wrong? Well, first of all, the application was first developed in 2014, 2015. It was an Ionic version 1 application. And even though we've been able to keep it going and keep updating it, when it came to doing it this time, it was like none of the dependency packages worked, or at least the key ones didn't. Like a lot of them had been okay. They've been they've been maintained, they've been upgraded. But some of the ones that were crucial to the application, and it's kind of like an Internet of Things type of thing. It's like, it connects with another device. So I had to test connecting with the device and all that kind of stuff. That stuff just didn't work. It just would not compile, right? So so I spent the entire weekend messing around with Java versions, NPM versions, Node versions. And in the end, I just got everything back up to scratch. A lot of rewriting was involved there, which meant a lot more testing and a lot more kind of things. And every single moment of that, again, like I said, I underquoted, but every moment of that, I thought, thank God I didn't, go with my first gut instinct on this, right? Because, I think we all have a tendency as developers to think about a project as if everything is going to go right, as if the lights are all going to be green, there's going to be no problem with anything. Like, dude, this is easy. Like, we just, I know where to, the icons. I'll go into image assets, I'll go into into the drawable folders, I'll resize this icon, I'll go through, I'll change the colors in the central config, all this stuff, easy peasy. And then everything goes wrong and you're on the hook because you said you deliver by a certain date. Anyway, the point of this video is just to let you guys know that this is difficult. It's difficult to quote higher than you think something's going to take, right? Because you're not, some people out there, I'm sure they're trying to just screw over their clients, which should never be the case, right? They come to you, they trust you. You should give them the best value and the best quality that you can, but you can never anticipate everything that will go wrong, but anticipate that something will go wrong. Anticipate that there's going to be network problems, or that an API that used to be there doesn't exist anymore, or there's something that's no longer available, or, again, you have to upgrade a Gradle version, or, the app market is changing all the time, and, sometimes you just run into these kind of things that you don't expect. If you can get time and material work, then great. Just do everything based on time and materials, right? Every extra hour you spend, it's like, it's on them. But, that way, if it's less than you estimated, it's good for them. If it's longer, that's bad for them. When you're doing fixed price, you take on all that risk, and you have to factor that kind of stuff in. Anyway, these kind of things happen. Again, they're happy with it. So, yeah, that's great. I've a satisfied client. It's good. And, it all worked out in the end. Well, mostly, despite one day of extra effort, which I think I will just have to swallow. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. First of all, dealing with those old Ionic version 1 apps are sometimes very difficult. Let me know, have you guys had, how much trouble have you guys had with underquoting for app development work? For those of you who have done it. For those of you guys who are thinking of getting into client work, pay close attention to this, right? The ideal situation is that you would be able to sit down and quote everything exactly. Like for my example, I would have been able to get the code out, run it, test it, and then give them a quote. But then you were talking about several hours work unpaid before you even start doing stuff. And they wanted a price, so I gave them a price. And they were happy with it in the end. And they got the better deal than I did. Anyway, I just thought I would share that with you guys today. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I hope you're staying healthy, you're staying safe. And that's it for today. I'll talk to you again next time.